Welcome back to Dark Corner's Physical Media Reviews. 36 Hours, released in the US as Terror Street, is another British noir from Hammer's exclusive years, now getting a lavish collector's edition release.
My home for the next 36 hours.
Dan Duryea, usually cast as the bad guy, is the imported star, playing Bill Rogers, an American Air Force pilot on a 36-hour pass in the UK, looking up the wife he left behind.
Where's Katie?
And not happy with what he finds.
Lots of wives leave their husbands, Bill, just like Katie.
Always good to see Marianne Stone, although it's probably easier to list British films she's not in than those she is. Exactly what Rogers is planning when he waits for his wife with a gun is perhaps best not thought about, but things don't go to plan.
I just want you to explain what's happened. What?
Bill.
The scarred villain feels a little man who knew too much, and Bill experiences a 39 steps-ish awakening. This is very much a Hitchcockian, wrongly accused man on the run thriller. With caveats, we see how Rogers is framed, and he guesses.
It was my wife, and whoever killed her used my gun.
Eschewing Hitchcock's preferred technique of explaining nothing to us nor to his everyman hero. Likewise, we learn the complexities of the plot in which Rogers' wife has become embroiled, even resorting to voiceover to get everything across.
My job would be to get acquainted with men he knew were involved in smuggling.
While Hitchcock preferred to explain nothing, assuming that we would follow the characters. Naturally, Rogers is helped by another woman.
Be quiet long enough to listen to me. I won't hurt you.
Future super gran Gudrun Ewer.
Hang about, look out for super gran.
But their relationship lacks the conflict of Robert Donat and Madeleine Carroll.
I know I've no right, but you're the only one I can turn to.
So, okay, yeah, it's not as good as Hitchcock. Rogers' lack of emotion for his dead wife is notable.
Katie!
The 36 hours time limit of the title plays a surprisingly small role.
That's why I've got less than 36 short hours to clear myself.
And the fact of him being on the run in a strange country really feels like an opportunity missed. But, as is so often the case with Hammer thrillers, the fact that it's not great doesn't get in the way of it being good.
What?
The company's ability to turn out solid B pictures is not to be underestimated, and it looks the noir part. I also love that when I saw this,
Darling, there's someone here to see you. An American gentleman.
I scribbled down Budget Blofeld in my notes without realising that also in the cast is Eric Pohlmann, later the voice of Blofeld in From Russia with Love and Thunderball.
You mean by that statement to infer that I'm engaged in an illegal enterprise of some sort?
I still have very much a love-hate relationship with some of these covers. It doesn't look much like Dan Duryea, and even though I don't really like the title Terror Street for the US release, I think that's a more dynamic composition. But to each their own. That's all right. Yeah. 2-disc set. Little press pack. These are always fun. It's nice to have them. I don't know if you'll ever look at them after taking this out of its box for the first time and wondering what that thing that fell on the floor was, but it's nice to have. I find that image very confusing. Why is there a fist coming out of his shoulder? More of the Hammer crime files. This is quite interesting. I mean, that's underselling it. This is an interesting evolution or a change to what you usually get in these books. As with a lot of them, the first article in here is adapted from Wayne Kinsey's book and goes into a great deal of detail about the production. Although not as much detail as there is in the book itself. This is still cut down, but there's a lot here. Much of the rest of the book is given over to production documentation. So this is the script breakdown, and you have all this. This is probably a sort of a chalk and cheese thing. I really love this detail. I love that, just that closeness that it brings you to the original production, that there are all these little details that you get to be privy to. the length of time each exterior scene lasts here. There's no reason that I would ever need to know this. This is the unit list of just the people involved, their contact numbers and their addresses. So you can try and call Anthony Hines. I suspect he'd have a slightly long... I long for the days when a phone number could just be 4 numbers long. But you learn all sorts of interesting things from this. For instance, we learned that construction manager Mick Lyons lived not that far from where we are filming at all. We could be there in a matter of minutes. Like I said, I don't know if it's for everyone, and I don't know if I want this in every single booklet, but I do find this stuff really genuinely fascinating. Also in here, there's a bit more... Where am I? Here we go. A bit more on Dan Duryea. And as we mentioned briefly in the review, Duryea was usually cast as a sort of a more unpleasant character than he is in this. And you get a real sense of that. There's a pair of his posters here. How well can you see this? Just the fact that the film is called Manhandled is probably not a good start. And this one where he's in the act of about to slap this girl, too late for tears. That's just to remind you you're in a tough racket now. And this is the sort of character that Duryea typically played. And this is written by someone who did know him, and he wasn't really like that in real life. He's a lovely guy. Just looking at the general trend of American stars in British thrillers, which was prevalent through this period of Hammer, and really it was only with the casting of Peter Cushing in Frankenstein that they seemed to stop doing that. And a bit about Robert Lippert. His studio is where Hammer was based for at least part of their exclusive period. That's promotion for the Quatermass experiment. I must have missed that scene. Yeah. Perhaps because of the number of crime dramas that Hammer has released already this year, the breadth and variety of the extras has started to recede a little. There are 2 commentary tracks, one with the always reliable Kim Newman and British crime writer Barry Forshaw, a great chat between experts weaving in anecdotes, trivia and movie connections, and a second with Toby Rowan and Serial at Midnight's Heath Holland, which follows the narrative of the film. Hammer have put together nearly 2 hours of talking head features. The BFI's Joe Botting and Vic Pratt explore the world of Brit Noir. Chris Alexander looks at the life and career of actor Dan Duryea. Crime writer Maxim Jakubowski examines 36 Hours screenwriter Steve Fisher. And film noir expert Sergio Angelini looks at how Fisher's work sets 36 Hours apart from Hammer's other crime thrillers of the era. We also get 2 episodes of US radio drama anthology Suspense, both starring Duryea. All interesting, if not essential. It is perhaps a little unfair to lean so heavily on Hitchcock comparisons looking at this film, but they have borrowed a lot. That said, it's an interesting addition to your growing Hammer thriller collection because it is one of the less typical.
Will you cut out the dramatics?
Yes, if you root around the credits, you'll find your Sangsters, your Arbuthnot's, Heinz Needs, perhaps a Leakey. But despite its Hitchcockian pedigree, this feels more American than most of Hammer's noirs, and by the ending seems to be channeling more Huston than Hitchcock. It's a solid plot, solidly delivered, and despite some questions about the hero, I thought it was pretty likeable.
Murderous swine!
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Any thoughts on this one or on star Dan Duryea? Let us know in the comments below.